Hello there, everyone. TheAndrata here, and welcome back to episode 19 of our Astropolis Let's Play series, where today, we're fully automating that bad boy down there, our metallurgic infusing chain from Mekanism. Yeah, taking care of that. So let's get started. Welcome back, my friends, to another wonderful day here in the world of TheAndrata. Where today we are going to be, working on stuff and on things as per our usual, introduction to the episode spiel. Haha. Anyway, today we are going to be working on, continuing off where we left last episode and working on trying to get ourselves mechanisms, enriched items, our metallurgic infusers automated. Okay. Before we do so, though, I want to work on automating this guy over here real quick. Okay. This is our small electrical furnace that we used to have downstairs. I brought it upstairs here, rerouted a little bit of a power flower over into this area so that we can have this. And then I ran some cabling over here so that we could hook up a pattern provider and an import bus to a chest here. So we can kind of get this guy automated. I'm tired of having to manually go put stuff down in there. So that's basically where we are at with that. And because I want to start working on automating Netherite. I did AFK for a little while. I mean, we got 101 total hours here, 94. Because as you noticed last episode, Netherite scrap we had run out of. Well, now we've got quite a bit of it, so we don't have to worry about Netherite anymore. So I can go ahead and make myself like Netherite dust by just asking for Netherite dust. And why the Netherite scrap didn't want to go in there? Excuse me? Oh, we're out of gold dust. That's what the issue is. So we got to get gold dust, which I should have over in my crusher, wherever I put that. I don't need this at the moment, but it would be nice to have available. I do want to upgrade to a netherite backpack. So I want to get my backpack upgraded, this backpack, so I can fit more items in there. Because as you can see on my to-do list, one of my goals this episode is to try and get ourselves copy paste gadget and building gadget. And they're going to go into my backpack, so I need more room, basically, is what we're doing here. So I want to get netherite going. So I want to automate this, right? I don't want to have to manually craft these things. I'm going to need to figure out the chandelier thing, but we want to get to this point before we do, so we can get an assembler chandelier and start figuring out some wireless stuff and all that good stuff. So it's on our to-do list, so things are kind of sort of getting shoved wherever they can fit again right now until we get to the point where we can expand, wirelessly do things, and then that will help out drastically with not only just making everything look nice and getting stuff tucked away and all nice and neat where it could go and belong, but also for actually setting up these machines and stuff. So I guess first things first, we can go ahead and do my backpack thing because, well, I can just easily do that. So if we go here, we want a diamond backpack. I just click that and sure, I'll upgrade our loot backpack to diamond, and then I'll upgrade our backpack to diamond. And then I'm going to need to get a netherite ingot in order to upgrade it to netherite. So we'll go ahead and do this one here, and I'll just hold those two there. But I want to go ahead and get my netherite dust going. I would automate this part too and have AE2 be able to make this recipe, and we will in the future. But since I don't have this, I don't have a whole bunch of these things going on and all that, I'm not going to worry about it at the moment until I can get to that point. But in order to turn our netherite dust into a netherite ingot, we need to put it through this recipe. We need to put it through a smelter, right? So we're going to go over here. We're going to go to our smelting tab. We're going to go to netherite dust, turn it into it. And that is a processing pattern. So basically what this says, now I didn't necessarily have to go and click on the smelting tab. It really could have been any of these that will cook it up, because basically what this is telling AE2, if you put one of these into the machine, you're going to get one of these out. Simple as that. Okay. This equals this. Okay. So if I grab that and I grab my processing pattern and I come on over here and I go ahead and put that into my pattern provider, that was the wrong one, but hey, they both look the same. Sorry. So I put that in there. Now, if I go ask for netherite ingots, I can put this in here. And someone had mentioned that they believe that it's middle click. Yes, there we go. Middle click to, even though you have one in your inventory. So like I have netherite here, I can middle click on this to request the netherite. So if I do that, it'll put the netherite in there. It's currently crafting, which should start this, which did that, pushes it to the output, and then that import bus should pull it into our ME system, and we should now have another netherite ingot in here available to us. Nice. Okay, so now I need to get my smithing table back out because I took it down because I'm like, oh yeah, we automated that, but I don't want to put that in the system to, like, I don't need netherite backpacks on demand. But hey, look, we have 2 netherite backpacks done, both ready to go for us whenever we need, which is going to give us a lot more storage, max storage that you can have out of a backpack here. And it's a lot. I'm going to need to fix all this and move those down. Look, we got all these upgrades available to us now. We have a whole bunch of stuff that we can do, makes it nice and neat and bigger and all of that stuff. So now we can work on getting ourselves our building gadget, which should be just as simple as that, and a copy paste gadget. I'm getting these because I want to start. I need to expand. We're gonna be doing some expansions and everything, and having a building gadget available to us will make this so much easier. I do need to get a charger. Do I have the AE2 charger in here, or is it down there? Because I need to get power to these, so I need to actually put it into a charger for now, or a I believe a Mekanism battery. I can put it in the slot, right? And let it charge it. So if I pop over here and I say, hey, put it in there, it'll start charging it up. Yeah, so now it'll start filling up the battery on the building gadget. And the building gadget is a fantastic mod. Well, building gadgets is the mod. The building gadget itself is a fantastic piece of kit. It's a fantastic tool that we can use to make building easy, right? Makes things so much easier. I do believe I disabled the hotkey for this, so I need to go in and we need to go to building gadgets, and I need to make sure that my settings menu, yep, I did disable that. So we need to go ahead, set the settings menu, and we can go with G. Let's go see what else is using the key of G. I said key, please. Yeah, that didn't work. So Jet Boots was not working with the speeds and everything. Oh, well, because these Jet Boots don't have a speed. That's what the issue is there. So this guy's going to charge up. We can leave the copy paste gadget in there. But what the building gadget does is, again, G is not working. None of these menus are wanting to work. Maybe it's not that the backpack's not working. Something is like capturing this key. But nothing else is using G. So I don't understand what could be the issue here. Let's maybe F. Swap item. I guess we don't need that. And that's search bar. Okay, let's go back to, well, let's just do key of G because I know it's using G right now, and go to F. And if I hold F, yeah, that's working. Huh. For some reason, G is not working. I don't know what the issue there is. But the building gadget is great. So if I were to say, for example, place down some deep slate bricks, I can shift right click on there and it will select the deep slate bricks. So now I'm using that. And I can go ahead and change the modes. Like right now it's in a grid mode. I can have it on a surface, and I can increase the size of that if I wanted to. So it'll place, it'll make it bigger for us. We can change modes, fuzzy, connected surfaces. We can have it place on top of blocks. We have a lot of things that we can do with the building gadget. We can have it build to me. So, and this is mostly what I'm going to use. So look, I can have it, boop, and it'll just place those blocks. Oh no, I messed up. Undo by pressing U. Lots and lots of building functionality, so it's great. I love the building gadgets mod. And the copy paste gadget will allow me to like copy a structure. So like all of that, I could copy that whole structure and then paste it somewhere else as long as I have the requisite blocks available to me. It's great. Let's go ahead and throw that in our inventory. Again, like I said, I'm going to clean that up later, but today's focus needs to be on getting Mekanism taken care of. So we got those little things out of the way. Let's get to Mekanism. So we need to pop back on over here, and we need to see, well, what do we have? So in between episodes, I didn't do any work really. All I did was made pattern providers, set them up, and put our interface and routed all the cables that we had going on. Okay, so pattern providers are hooked up to every single one of our Mekanism machines. So we just have them set up to the top. So the item input is going to be on the top. Our cables are already on the bottom. Those were here before. I set up the smart cable on all of them. A little bit of quartz fiber here, so it didn't connect to this side as well. Just leave it on that, on the tops, so that the way that's good to go. And then, yeah, basically that's where we're at. So we're using 6 of the 8 channels that this smart cable can hold, which should be what we need to use. And now, well, we need to get started. So the first thing that we need to do, we're going to pop up top. We need to teach the system a couple recipes that it's going to be able to craft. And that's mainly going to be these guys here. So we're going to start with the enriched carbon. And we're going to say enriched carbon is going to be made with coal and enriched carbon, because coal is what we have on auto craft, right? Or well, auto processing. So we have enough of that for coal. Also, I made some patterns in between episodes and some more quartz glass, just because we need that. So arc furnace up quartz glass. I really want to get that arc furnace automated somehow, because those recipes are kind of a pain. Anyway, so that one, the enriched carbon, we're going to need enriched redstone. We're going to need enriched diamond. And we are going to need enriched obsidian, so I will take it, but we cannot craft refined obsidian just yet, so we won't worry about that one terribly too much. But it is coming, because we are going to want it very soon, because we're like, my goal is quickly trying to, not parties, or my goal is to quickly try and get us through basically to wireless power, Sirius power, and the rest of the steel casings, getting us to the quantum entangler porters so we can move items like do wireless things. Okay. So that's that. So what do we want to do with this? Well, we're going to take all these recipes. They are going to go into our enrichment chamber, because that's the machine that is going to be able to process these. It's going to be able to craft these for us. So we're going to go into our enrichment chamber. We're going to go into the GUI. We're going to go to side configs, and we are going to clear the side configs. So this sets everything to none. I love this button here, that it sets all the sides to none. If you didn't know, by the way, you can drag Mekanism's UIs around if you really wanted to. So for some reason, the inventory profiles next is displaying over this. It's really not affecting it or anything like that, but just note that it does happen there. So like if it bothers you, you can just move it to the side if you really wanted to. It's not affecting how we're setting this up, so it doesn't really make a difference. Okay, so what we're going to do, items config is what we're on. We are going to set the top to be the input. That's where we want items to come in. And we are going to set the bottom to our output. So input on top, output on the bottom, okay? And we want it to be auto eject doesn't really need to be on, because we're going to have Xnet pull it out. We can set auto eject on though if we really wanted to. What that means is it'll automatically output the items to a connected inventory or to a pipe or whatever, so it can be pulled or done whenever it needs to. Like I said, Xnet's going to handle the item movement, so we really don't have to have that on. So we're good to go there. Okay, so we have patterns in here, and we have the enrichment chamber. So if I were to go up top and I were to say, hey, buddy, I would like 10 enriched carbon, or you know what, let's get one of each, because we're going to need them anyway for our crafting. So let's get this. We'll grab, because our CPUs, because this doesn't allow us to do more than one craft at a time, because the way that thingamabob AE2 works, right? We don't have any crafting CPUs. This guy's being used. Really, I should set up more of these and get more of these multi-blocks going, so that we can get this better automated, because now I have to wait, and I don't like waiting, and it's never going to finish because I haven't set the outputs yet. Okay, well, anyway, enriched carbon's chilling here. Let's go ahead and get our outputs set up. So what we're going to do is we're going to come into our Xnet controller. We're going to go to our enrichment chamber, and we're going to create an extract channel. So we're going to go, or an item channel. So we're going to say items, and this is going to be enriched extract. Okay. I generally like to name my channels so I know what they do when I come back to them later. You don't have to. It's not a requirement. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to our interface first, and we're going to say you're going to insert, and you're going to insert from the down. Interface doesn't make a difference. So it's going to insert from there, and it'll pop it right into there. And we're going to say the enrichment chamber is going to be an extract, and it's also going to be an extract on the down. We want it to extract a stack, and we want it to extract as fast as it possibly can. The advanced connectors allow you to go down to 5 ticks. If you don't use advanced connectors, you can only go lowest as 10, but we are going to go ahead and extract, and it already pulled it out. It put it into the interface. The interface already processed it. So now if we pop up here, we should have an enriched carbon available to us. Bam. Okay. So that's enriched carbon. We're also going to want to get ourselves enriched redstone. So we're going to have to wait for that. It shouldn't take too long. It shouldn't take too long, he says, as it takes forever to craft. There we go. Enriched redstone. We're going to want an enriched diamond. And then we don't need to worry about the obsidian. What about a wireless terminal? Wireless universal terminal? What is this? I'm assuming this allows me to access everything. Yeah, pattern encoding and crafting terminal. So I need this and this, and I can combine them. Crafting terminal is this, and this is a Fluix Pearl, which is this. I'm assuming I'm going to need 2 of those. And then that makes me 2 of these, but I'm going to need a receiver too, aren't I? And dense energy cell is that, but I need more Fluix dust, so I need to charge up more or inscribe more Fluix. All right, well, it's on my to-do list. We'll get to that too. Anyway, it was the diamond. I'd like a wireless terminal. It'd be nice so that I didn't have to worry about, coming back up here to do all this stuff. I really could grab another crafting terminal and just bring it down there for the time being. And just hook it up, like, bam, and then I don't have to worry about it. Go ahead and craft those. You're out of Fluix dust because I just used all the Fluix dust. All right, well, forget it, okay? Forget it. Forget you. Okay, so where were we at? Okay, so we had our enrichment chamber. That's automated now. When we get these, we can have it. They can go into the system. However, we don't want them to just go into the system. We want them to be ready for us. We need to craft a bunch of these at a time, right? Or we really want to, not a bunch of these at a time. We want to keep them on hand is what I'm trying to say. So we're going to say enriched carbon, enriched redstone, and enriched diamond. We want those on hand. So now what should be happening is it should have requested those crafts in here. And if we look at in here, it should be requesting those. Is that the case? Or do we need, is there a crafting card? Ah, there is a crafting card. Okay, we need that. And I'm going to assume that I'm going to need Fluix dust. Ah, no. Okay, good. I like that. No Fluix dust. Perfect. Get a crafting table. And a crafting card. Okay, so the crafting card is an upgrade that's going to allow us to, for our system to automatically request. So our interface is going to be able to request the items that I have in here. So now if we pop back up top, we should see in the crafting status that those 3 items are on craft. Yes, okay. So it's crafting the enriched carbon, and then it's going to craft the enriched redstone and the diamond. Good, that's what I wanted to see. And we are really going to have to get more CPUs set up so it can craft these more than one. So I don't want just one of these in here. I generally like to keep, honestly, really, since we have infinites, I'd like to keep a stack of each one of these in here. But for now, let's do 16. So we'll say 16 of you, 16 of you, and 16 of you. And it'll just let them run, and they're going to keep processing. It's going to keep this machine busy, and it should start crafting the rest of the things. Though the machine is not busy, which concerns me. Why is the machine not busy? Boop. Okay. Is it because it went into here, huh? That's the issue, isn't it? So if this is going into there, it's not counting it as part of the craft. It's just storing it here immediately. Is that what I'm getting at here? We'll find out, because that's 15. There's 1. Let's go see. Did it say that it crafted any of them? Because it should have a request for 16 of them, and it should now be on 15. Yeah, it's crafting 16. And it hasn't crafted any. Okay, that's weird. So what happens is because I have this going into the interface, this exports straight into the interface. It's going into this slot, and the AE2 system's not picking up that it even exists. Like, it's not saying, hey, it's done, which is weird. You'd think that because this is connected to the system, it should input and then drop it back into here. That's how, at least that's how refined storage works. It has an input slot, and then it goes into there. And if I move these over here, it triggers, it picks that up. So what that means is that I can't have this be Xnet controlled. I'm going to have to hook up an exporter or an import bus onto this so that it can go into the system and then just export it back out, which is stupid, but hey, it is what it is. So can I make a import bus? Am I going to have to rob Peter here to pay Paul? Import bus. No, I'm not going to be able to because I don't have those things. So sorry, import bus from here, but I'm going to have to borrow you so I can get this craft done, because these are going to have to go over there. I feel like that's kind of a dumb way for that to work. And maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm doing something wrong, and that's why it's not working. let me know in the comments if it is a me issue. So now we're going to have to change this. We're going to output from the back, and we're going to clear that slot. So now they should go into the system. So if I move these over here, yeah, look, they just got moved. They got dumped back into the system, and now the craft will be it should be complete, or well, completing. It should say that there's like 4 of them. Yeah, look, it completed that craft. Now there's 16. All right. Well, that's whatever. I don't like it, but it worked. Okay. All right. Here's what it is. And because I've put them in multiple times, it picked up that they're done. Oh, they're done. Oh, they're done. So I messed that craft up, but it's going to go ahead and put the diamond in there. Now the diamond should work. And now I guess really this channel is superfluous. We don't need it. We can get rid of it, and bam. Okay, well, with that being done, we've now automated the production of extra of these. So we now have 16 of them available. I need that back. I need 1 of each. So now what we have to do is automate the pushing of those into their respective metallurgic infusers. Because what we want to have happen, we want these to remain full of their slurries at all times and have a back stuff of the enriched diamond and redstone available to us so that when it is needed, these have it available, so they never stop. And I have pattern providers up here because we're going to use Metallurgic Infusers, infuser, to make a lot of things in Mekanism. Mainly the usage for these is going to be for these infused out the alloys, right? So that's the main crafting item really for Mekanism. Iron ingot to an infused alloy, and then infused alloy gets turned into reinforced alloy, and then that gets turned into atomic alloys, and then that goes. That's the main major thing that these are going to be used for, and we need hundreds of those things. So that's where we're going with this. Okay. So what's going to happen is we are going to tell Xnet, okay, first Metallurgic Infuser, which should be, hopefully that's the first one in the line. Yes. If you double click on it in the Xnet controller, you get a wireframe blinking telling you which machine you're looking at. So that's going to be this Metallurgic Infuser. AE2, can we name the pattern provider? Because we can, in Refined, you can name crafters. Can you name pattern providers? I'll have to look that up later. Maybe in a Anvil, you can name them. It's similar to Refined storage. Anyway, okay, so we have a pattern provider. This is our carbon infuser, right? So carbon infuser. And I really would like to name that. It will make it so much easier when we're doing things in the future. Give me a moment. All right, well, I tried looking it up. Nothing jumped out to me, so we're just going to try it. Anvil, pattern provider, gimme. Looks like I can. So we're going to call this our carbon inscriber. Or not carbon inscriber, carbon infuser, sorry. Carbon infuser, bam. So if I place this back down here, and then I got to put the cable back because I just disconnected that, bam. Okay, so now we have a carbon infuser. It doesn't show the name here, though, which is concerning. If I go up top, is it going to show that? Or did I just waste a level of experience for no reason? Nope, carbon infuser. Okay, good. So it does show, and it separates it out in the inventory. Because what you saw there, all 3 metallurgic infusers are showing up as their own infuser. Or they're showing up like in one big old glob. And we don't want that. We want them to do separate recipes, right? So carbon infuser, good. So we're going to come into here. We're going to go to our metallurgic infuser. And we're going to say, okay, you are going to extract. So we need an item channel. And this is going to extract from our ME interface. However, I'm going to turn processing off. I don't want it to do anything just yet. And this is going to have an extract on here, okay? And it is going to extract anything that's in that ME interface. That's fine. And we can extract, we want single items, and we want it to extract as fast as it can. But what we want to happen is in the Metallurgic Infuser, which we can also name with here. So we can say Carbon Infuser as well. So we can name it inside of Xnet. So now that's Carbon Infuser. We can go ahead and we want to insert in here, but we only want to make sure that the max amount in the inventory, so the max amount inside of the Metallurgic Infuser is going to be 1. We don't want any more than 1 of these just chilling. I don't want a whole stack of these in there. I want 1 to sit there at all times. And we are going to whitelist enriched carbon. And that is the only thing that should be allowed to now go into that infuser is enriched carbon. So theoretically, if I turn that channel on, it's going to pull out those 16 and then dump them in here. So let's turn on processing. Yeah, look, it's putting them in and then it should stop. Yep, perfect. That's what we wanted. We want it to hold the one in there, and then this can back stuff at 16, and then we have one chilling in here for whenever it's needed. That's exactly what I wanted to happen. So we're going to say this is our redstone infuser. This is our diamond infuser. And the same thing is going to happen for all of those. So we have our extract here, and this is going to be our interface extract. Okay. So we're going to insert, we'll turn processing off because as soon as I turn insert in on here, I'm not going to have this whitelisted. So it's going to try and insert whatever into those. And I don't want to end up with carbon in the wrong spot. So we're going to whitelist this one. This should be our redstone. And then we are going to get our diamond and we're going to input enriched diamond on there. And again, we want to have only one of these in there at a time. And eventually this one's going to be used for our refined obsidian, but we don't have refined obsidian available right now. So if I turn this on, those should start filling up. Bam. And then bam. I like it. I like it. I do. Okay. So that automated that process. So now these are all taken care of. So really now our last step is to get, first off, we need to get these renamed so that we can have them, up in our AE2 system appropriately named. So this is going to be redstone. I can't type any today for some reason. Redstone infuser. Okay. And then we're going to have the diamond infuser. Good. Diamond infuser. Bam. And then this one's going to be refined obsidian infuser. Might as well, because it will be, coming into play eventually. Refined obsidian infuser. And I pulled it from the wrong spot, didn't I? Refined obsidian infuser. Bam. And bing, bing, bong. Everything is back online. Okay. So yeah, now that connected that importer back on, so we're good. And then that's going to start filling up. Okay, so now we have all of these ready to go. So let's teach it how to make refined obsidian, because that's the last thing that's on our list that we need is refined obsidian. So let's see, what is the process for making the enriched obsidian here? Okay, so in order to do that, we are going to need refined obsidian dust. Refined obsidian dust is going to be made with obsidian dust in our diamond metallurgic infuser, and obsidian dust is going to be made by enriching obsidian. Okay, so nice little chain that we're going to have here. Now, obsidian, as we know, is made in the arc furnace with fluix blocks, which we don't have. The arc furnace automated. We'll figure out how that's going to work soon. But this does make 4 per, so that's not too bad. So this is going to go into our enrichment chamber. And then we're going to have the refined obsidian dust get put into our diamond infuser. Now, here's the thing. Notice when I put this in here, it put obsidian dust and it put the 0.01 buckets of diamond slurry in there. We don't want that. We have that already taken care of. We don't have that stored anywhere. So I'm going to click on this and it will clear it out. And then I got to rewrite the recipe. And then we can go ahead and say refined obsidian dust can then be used to make enriched obsidian, right? Yes. And that goes back into the enrichment chamber. So this is an enrichment chamber recipe. This goes into our diamond. And then if I do that, I should be able to request one of these. However, we might have to wait a minute because these are going to be doing their thing. Oh, I already have that one, so we don't have to worry about that. Can I clear these by shift right clicking? Yeah, now I have a blank one. Good. And then you go into the diamond processor. And yeah, theoretically now, if I were to, well, let's help this out a little bit. I'm not going to be able to go too crazy though, because this is not going to have enough power. What are we using now? I mean, we're only using 20 RF. Let's get this sped up. And then we can see if this whole chain works, because if it does, then I can push the last extract into there. That will automate our metallurgics. Then all we got to do is put recipes in here. Here's the thing. What if I run out? How do I get more, like a bigger pattern provider? I have to hook more pattern providers up to this one, or doesn't look like there's any upgrades or anything like that. So What's the process for that? Refined storage, you can stack provider or interfaces on top of each other to make it work. I'm going to say I'm pretty sure that's not going to be the case here with AE2. So what do we do when we need more? Can you put them in block form like this? I don't know. So if I come in here and I asked for an enriched obsidian, I should get that. I should be able to have that. It might take a minute for that to happen, but it should put the obsidian into here. Yep. And it's going to turn that into 4 of the obsidian dust, and then it should shove one of those into here. And once it finishes that, it should shove that back over there to get enriched. Oh, you know what? Haha, we don't have any outputs set up on this. We don't have any extracts for this. Okay, so we're kind of stuck here, but that's okay. Let's clear this inventory. We're going to say this is going to input from the top, and it's going to output to the... yeah, it can output to the bottom, really. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter, does it? Output to the bottom. And then we come over here to refined. And then we have the same issue we're going to run into because this is going to be keeping... No, that should be okay. Okay, yeah. So we come over here to Xnet and we say, okay, we need our final extract channel so we can extract from all of our metallurgic infusers. So we're going to go to items again. We're going to insert that into here. Insert. And then we are going to extract from all of these. So we can just extract anything that comes into it. Extract everything, a whole stack as fast as you can. Extract a whole stack as fast as you can and change that to stack as fast as it can. There we go. It put it into the interface, which then got processed, which is now going to put it into here. And then if we go back up top, we should have the enriched red obsidian. Bam, enriched obsidian. And now with that, we can automate the last piece of the puzzle here, which is keeping enriched obsidian on hand. So if we put this in here and we say that we need 16 of these, we're good to go. And we need to get those put into our final infuser, which is going to be the refined obsidian infuser. And then we can say, let's turn off the extract on here for the moment. We're going to insert refined obsidian into there, and we can turn it back on. And now everything should be working. And we have refined obsidian automated. So now all of our machines will stay full of all of their requisite slurries that they're going to need to craft. There's going to be a backstuffing of the enriched carbon inside, or the enriched form of all of them available, so that way we don't have to worry about it. This part here is very diamond heavy, but we have diamonds available to us infinitely, so a little slowly, but infinitely, so we don't have to worry about it terribly too much at the moment. And we really honestly don't use the enriched obsidian a whole lot, so having, getting that many of them is going to be fine. Also, it looks like, yeah, that made 80. I was like, man, it looks like it made a lot, but we ended up crafting another one, so we had 2. So yeah, that's gonna do its thing, and it's enriching that up, and we are good to go with all of this. And I like it. It's a nice little setup. And once I get my bricks here, it's fairly clean. I mean, it's not the cleanest, but it's not too bad ultimately, I don't think. And it's automated. I don't have to worry about it. So now when we need things, like if I wanted that alloy, the infused alloy, I could come up here and I can say, okay, give me the recipe for all of my alloys, right? So we can say, I want infused alloy. Make that, none of that. If I want reinforced alloys, make that, none of that. And if I want atomic alloys, make that with none of that. And bam, we have all of those alloys. We also are going to want the circuits. So we're going to want basic control circuits. That is made in there with osmium. So that's the same as this one. Then we can upgrade those to advanced control circuits. That's just a regular crafting recipe, so we don't have to worry about that. And then that's going to be the elite control circuits nets, which is the reinforced alloys. That's a crafting recipe. And then ultimate control circuits are going to be this recipe. So 3 of these are going to pop back here. The rest of these are going to go into machines, and then we have the ability to craft everything in Mekanism for the most part, all the way up to its highest tiers. So you're carbon, so you are what makes these ones, right? Now I'm like second guessing myself. Yeah, you make the infused alloys. No, the infused. This one's used for steel. That's what it is. You go there, and then you go there, and then you go there. Now, if I wanted any of those, I can craft them. I'm going to let this thing catch up, though, because, well, first off, I'm not going to be able to request another craft because I only have one crafting CPU. So I'm going to be out of luck there, so I can't do anything else. That's okay, though. I'll be okay with that. We can go ahead and let that just keep doing its thing, and I will work on making another crafting CPU in the interim in between episodes here. So that way at least maybe a couple more. Really, honestly, I don't think I need both of these here at the moment. So really, I just need to look up how in the world is that going to work. What's the chandelier that we're talking about? Okay, that's basically what we need to do. So if I can just, I can this actually the chandeliers for automating these things. If I can get something set up here so that we can have a temporary setup with some crafting, so that is processor. Do I need these? I don't have to look it up. Processors and crafting storages is what we do need for sure, and we can go with 4Ks there. Though I think I read that the 16Ks are best, and they're really not that expensive. It's just a whole bunch of 1Ks. I can have the system make these, so I'll look into that in between episodes. But that's it for today's episode. That is Mekanism's base recipes, completely automated for most part on everything that Mekanism's going to require there, from infused alloys all the way up to atomic alloys and everything in between. Completely automated for us, so now we can just ask the system for them and we will have them available, and we don't have to worry about running out of slurries or the wrong slurry going into the wrong machine. Generally, this is how I set up my Xnet, my Metallurgic Infusers, because it works and I don't have to worry about any extra fluids getting stuck somewhere or something like that. It was an issue before when the automated mods couldn't handle fluids, but now both refined storage and AE2 can handle fluids very well, actually. So honestly, we could get away with one and just have those slurries be pushed into like a ender tank or a fluid drawer now, which is fantastic. But I like my setup. It works, and it allows for concurrent processing of things, so we can have 4 items processing at the same time. So I like it. Anyway, that's it for today's episode. If you enjoyed, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. I do appreciate it, and it really does help out the channel. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.